50% of his opponent, who's only 14 years old. Get revenge after losing in the Austrian Open final last year. So again, the Swedish Open in 2016 will be coming up later this year for a very tight match in the last round. Hugo Calderano wins 13-11. Both Hugo Calderano and his coach Munier said was out of this world, like unlike anything that they'd ever faced. Going for power early on, forehand goes long. Now Harimoto, known for being very aggressive over the table, from his backhand, the Chiquita as they say in Japan, the banana flip, to his touch game and his counters. Calderano pulled out some backhand serves in his last match, which is quite uncommon. We're used to seeing the high toss pendulum serve. A little break here off the top of the net. Calderano takes a 2-1 lead. Look at this touch. Harimoto from the baseline plays a 2-bouncer on the table. So here's this high toss serve. Very curious to see what happens in terms of if there is any rotation on the ball on the toss. I bring that up because Tristan Flor has a very high toss serve as well. And against Christian Carlsen, was faulted for serves twice in that match. Again, the umpires have to be a little bit stricter here than usual when they're being evaluated. Of course, they need to make sure they're not letting things slide. So Calderano in the opening round beat Li Jie from China, 4-1. Impressive victory there. Then Kenta Matsudaira, 4-3, and another 4-3 earlier today. Doesn't feel like that long ago. Wow, a merciless forehand across the body to follow up after this powerful opening backhand. Very strong opening backhand here from the middle of the table. Harimoto, even when he's behind the table, he's just got more strength than he used to have. A little bit late to get there, but the idea is right. Harimoto looking for that forehand flip kill. In the opening round, he had an incredible match against Kirill Gerasimenko to win 4-3.
7-5.
Gerasimenko, the pride of Kazakhstan, putting Kazakhstan on the map as we get into the second towel break of the game. It's a 2-point lead for Hugo Calderano. Tomokazu Harimoto then went on to beat Maharu Yoshimura 4-2. And after that, earlier today, Christian Carlsen in Game 7.
Please make sure you do not hide the ball.
4-3. Service warning here for Hugo Calderano.
I just want him. 7-5. It was just a warning. 7-5.
Coach Munier having a word with the umpire, saying Calderano's been playing 3 days and he's never been called for this. The warning was that his shoulder is blocking the vision of the ball. The receiver needs to be able to see the ball from the moment it's presented to the moment it's contacted. This is close. I mean, a lot of players get away with a little bit depending on the tournament here and there. The ball does tend to fall behind the head sometimes for Hugo Calderano on that high toss serve as it comes very close to the body or the shoulder from time to time. Would not be the first time Hugo Calderano has been called out on his serves in crucial moments.
6-8.
But a big serve here. 2 times in the last 2 days I've seen a high toss serve with a flat hit for a long serve.
6-9.
Remember, the last time these two played, Hugo Calderano did not take a single game. Ooh.
10-6.
For Harimoto to bring that ball back to the very backhand corner. And Calderano thought it was out the opposite side. Plays more of a fishing shot from up high. 4 game points for Calderano. And he takes it 11-6. Strong performance over Harimoto, the junior world champion, the youngest ever. We'll be back for game 2 to see what happens. Calderano leading. Stay right here.
もう一つロングサーブ全部遅いしっかり見るこっち今真ん中でも大丈夫ストップからでも全然大丈夫自信はあるでそのロングサーブ一番ベストはストレートいけるときでたまにでバックそのしっかり4ロングサーブでこっち集まってきたなと思ったら自分でチキータ全然焦る必要ないもっと回転かけてコントロールして全部強くいけないあいつが先に強く打ってくると思ってるけどそんなことないね、大丈夫打たれてもブロックできるまずしっかり回転全部またバーンって
A little bit of revenge on the way once again from Hugo Calderano, but he's got a long way to go in this best of 7. Harimoto with the serve. That was surprising for me. Calderano played a very controlled shot instead of going for the biggest rip he could. Played it patiently. Little break here for the touch. Strong backhands covering from wide and then more centrally on the table. A lot of fans right now watching live in China, I'm sure. He's called HARIMOTO in China. That's one of his nicknames there. A beautiful forehand flip kill. Ball sits up just a little bit. That's the time for him to take advantage. Top edge of the racket, that ball's not coming down. Not on the table anyway. First towel break of the game, a friend asked me, is Harimoto really 14, this guy? I said, yes. She said, is there any limit? Is there any requirement for how old a player has to be? I said, nope, you could be 0 and playing in this tournament, but it seems unlikely that you'd have the, I don't know, skill sets required. I don't even know if you can be 0. In certain countries in the world, you're born at 1. The day you're born, you're 1 in some countries in the world, so in that case, you could not be 0 in playing. Serve drifts a little long, and Harimoto right there for the strong opening attack. So game 1 was tight until Hugo Calderano pulled away about halfway through. Fired up, aggressive on top of the table. Harimoto is going to force Calderano to mix things up in his receives. This is just too lukewarm. It's service control from Harimoto. He's completely handcuffing Calderano on a few of these points. Turning the favor, putting the pressure on. Heavy underspin pendulum serve on the shorter side to the forehand, middle. Surprise, surprise, Diego comes back from the backhand. Calderano right over the towel, ties it up at 6 points apiece. It's amazing how almost second nature it is for the players to go to the towel. They know right when it's time.
6-7.
The pressure is always changing out here for both of the players. Watch Calderano get in for that backhand. Not an easy ball. As soon as Calderano starts to step to the backhand corner, Harimoto makes him pay for it going the other way. Placed serve. Again, those ones that dangle off the backhand side. Harimoto will try to take it earlier than some who will play it from way down below the table when they need to spin it up softly. This is surprising for me. Calderano manages to come back. He was down 4-6. Wins 5 of the next 6 points. I was just surprised that he served long to the forehand side of the table, but not right at the baseline. A bit of bite here, some heavy underspin from Harimoto makes the ball stay shallow on the table for a second bounce. Third towel break of the game, 9 points each.
Left, 9 all.
Oh, just missing down the line. Outstanding rally, the focus from both players, but Harimoto to play some parallel shots in here. Take that ball right off the bounce. Really from behind the table by one step, not afraid to play the backhand punch to counter, looking to turn. Game point to Harimoto. Spinny opening backhand does it. A big game to get himself established here. 11-9, and he ties it up. This could be a long one. Game 3, we'll see who takes the lead right after this.
Não sei se tem tempo de virar ou não, se não tem tempo, pelo menos cobrir a bola. A segunda coisa, de sacar curto para a direita não funciona muito bem, porque acho que ele é ruim quando você faz curto na direita de Aral, mas primeiro Aral, depois desse saque, a bola vem muito rapidamente. É melhor de fazer como você faz, alternar com saque médio, tá? E depois...
Third game,
Back for
Calderano
game number
serve,
3.
love all.
Hugo Calderano to start off with the serve after losing game 2, 11-9.
1 love.
Receive gets away. Every once in a while the ball kicks and hits somebody in the hand. Not sure if that's what happened here.
Love.
So this time he tries to wait a little bit longer, take the ball from a little bit lower to the short side, the near side of the table.
Love 3. For love.
It's a very good start for the Brazilian in blue, the blue Brazilian, BB, Hugo Calderano.
Love.
Harimoto's gonna have to figure out some receives here. Had his luck, no one's lost on the side of the table that Hugo Calderano's on, top of the screen.
Love 6.
So 6 straight points to start it off. In the 11-point game, the outcome of the game can change so quickly. First point for Harimoto, and he's fired up on one foot, gets a flip kill cross court. Excellent placement. Backhand punch out wide to the forehand side. Still using some wrist, very snappy. You see similar stroke from Dima on the backhand side.
8-1.
Well, this is a very encouraging start for Hugo Calderano here in game 3. Fault call? Nope. I heard someone say fault. Wow. That's never any fun. But if it has to happen, it has to happen, and it did not. 9-1 lead for Calderano.
2-9.
Oh, waited till the last moment. Smart play. Realized that the ball was shallow enough on the table that he didn't have any pressure to let it come down a little bit, see where Hugo Calderano was. Also, because this wasn't coming away from the net, if he takes it from a little bit lower, the ball stays a little bit lower. Generally against lobs, you don't want to wait for the ball to come back down. From time to time, it's helpful. Calderano here, 7 game points to take a 2-1 lead over Tomokazu Harimoto, the junior world champion. The hope of the world. Break off the top of the net, but soft touch on the receive. 1 game point saved. Solid opening backhand. Takes the shot, stepping way around the forehand side, and Calderano in outstanding form keeps up the tradition from that side of the table. But now luck will be on Harimoto's side if the table and the arena has anything to do with it. We'll see what happens. Game 4 coming up right after this.
Brazilian player Hugo
バックつないじゃない自分から行かないともっと攻める気持ちないフォアにカン行くとあれつないだら相手に先にバンと打たれちゃう OK？ でサーブあいつがやってるみたいに書いてるいいサーブでそれを散らすであとロングサーブ今あんま見せてなかったけどそこからでいいよでチキータしっかり準備しないとでフォア前絶対強くないんだよでストップされたボール慌てんだダブルストップでもいいんだよダブルストップいけるボールはいく
Fourth game, Harimoto to serve, level.
For game number 4, Harimoto trailing.
Do not hide the ball.
Harimoto also warned on service. Says the umpire said you need to move your shoulder out of the way.
1 love.
The umpire has been very balanced and very consistent, I would say, in his strictness. Making sure that the player on the receiving end can really see the ball at all times, has no disadvantage because of a server hiding the ball. Now, Harimoto's positioning on the table adds a little bit of pressure here to Calderano to play that right down the line. It's interesting how sometimes under pressure, just your body, your mere presence in a certain place changes the game for your opponent.
3-1.
It's one of the reasons, one of many reasons Timo Boll can be so tough to play. He always seems to be right where you're thinking of hitting the ball.
4-1.
So the side that has favored both of these players seems to still be at the advantage for Harimoto. First towel break of the game, and he's only dropped 1 point so far. Now, Calderano has beaten Timo Boll before. Harimoto's playing him a lot in T2. I'm not sure what his head-to-head is there, but on the World Tour, has not beaten Timo Boll.
1-6.
Had a really good opportunity in China, and Timo Boll snatched it. Ooh, almost. What a setup. Calderano going corner to corner here. That serve that dangles off the touch, right off the bounce. It's actually quite amazing to me that Hugo Calderano can recover after such big strokes on the forehand side. At least as quickly as he did for those 2 shots in a row, despite the second one finding the net a few points ago. Harimoto racing out to a lead by 6 points here. Soft shot goes the other way, fools Harimoto. A good serve can set you up for this sort of freedom. Just amazing. I say amazing that, you know, professionals, when you get a receive like that, sort of like in chess when somebody loses a pawn where it was unforced and then they sacrifice the game, they tip their king and shake hands. But to receive such a little mistake early on can lead to such an easy winning backhand for Calderano or anyone out here. Started the Cho interrupted by apology, bit of habit, but immediately realized, oops, caught the edge of the table. So with 6 game points only needed to use the first, Harimoto takes a very clear game, 11-4 to tie it up 2 games apiece. We'll be back for game 5 to see who takes the lead right after this.
出してもいいでも簡単に出せない、少しはいいコースついたりとかちょっと切ったりとかそうしないとレシーブしっかり集中レシーブ集中だけここしっかり集中でよく見てつっつきの後気をつけないとすぐ準備して
E depois você pode voltar para a esquerda. Mas 4 pontos você colocou velocidade e força na esquerda dele. Tá? Então muda um pouco isso, hein? Aí, vamos lá, você está jogando bem. De novo, Hugo.
Back for game number 5. Calderano on the side of the table that's been winning all the games so far. Oh, look at this power. What is it about that side of the table? And we'll see Harimoto looking to change the pattern. Again, both players fighting to win every game, of course. Whoever wins this game will be one moving on to face Timo Boll. Some serious pressure from Harimoto, even with the lobs coming down, the fishing shots right at the baseline. But he's definitely breaking the pattern out here so far. Softer, spinnier shot. Calderano just brushing the ball ever so faintly with that backhand motion. A lot of racket speed to generate the spin. This could be the turning point, the pivotal moment. Excellent anticipation. Harimoto's right there to counter it back into play. And from a timeout standpoint, it's very rare we see coaches call timeouts when someone's running away with the game. But if Calderano starts to come back in the next several points, Harimoto's coach might call the timeout. Now, Harimoto is normally coached by his father, but also has some time and experience being coached by Yosuke Kurashima, the head national coach for Japan. That backhand, though, right down the line. Maybe clipped a little bit of the top of the net. We saw the apology there from Calderano. Falling away for the forehand, but well planted for that backhand. Second towel break of the game, and Harimoto 4 points ahead. I'm really curious to see what the world will see of Harimoto in the future if he continues developing at the rate he has been. Again, he is getting stronger. Physical fitness is high on the priority list. I thought of that because Calderano is so physically fit, and really just his stance when he takes these backhands. Very quick, very powerful from even behind the table. Times like this is where a timeout might come in. See what happens here on this point. Timeout. I would probably, yep, here it is. Coach Kurashima wants to make sure that Harimoto's head is in the right place, that he's got his focus, especially with the clear miss. A ball like this, look at the length on this. Push comes off the table just a little bit. Good placement from Calderano. When it's right near the back edge of the table, I mean, this is actually where that hand injury that we talked about with Harimoto came in,
あとは徹底的にフォア
ball
を
at the back
僕は
edge
ち
of
っ
the
ちゃくちゃ
table
くるから
against
その
Jun
ボールを
Mizutani.
ポンって
Tried to get the first attack, caught the edge of the table, and his hand was bleeding all over. Had to stop
やってる
playing.
ことは一緒で
This
す
is his first tournament back.
横サーブ自分の感性
Seems to be in very solid form.
ここからです
Again,
気
taking
持ち
down
気持ち
Christian Harimoto back to the table with some power in the heart. Some confidence. Still a 1-point lead for Harimoto and a second serve right here. It's one way to set it up short so the forehand, bring in Calderano and step over for the backhand from over the table to finish the point. And as expected, a big celebration from the excited Tomokazu Harimoto. Look at this angle. It's so amazing to me, the passion and the energy that he brings to every point. Throwing his head back completely in his chole. Has to take that ball really early. Risky shot, but now 3 game points for Harimoto. Back edge of the table, Calderano saves a game point. Third towel break, and it's been quite an interesting game 5 here. Oh, Calderano, what a save! That was unbelievable. It looked like for sure the point was over. This is why you never give up, and it's why you train so hard to be agile and physically fit. For Calderano to spin this back up, just barely win that point, amazing. But not two, a better swing here. A serve and sets up the third ball. Harimoto 11-9, and what a game 5 it was. It's a 3-2 lead for the Japanese youngster, and we'll be back for game number 6 right after this.
Se voi stai in una buona posizione, sempre voi stai in una buona risposta. Sono nesse momenti de conseguir vir muito curto, rápido para a sua direita, deixa bem baixo essa bola e quando ele sacar comprido, vai para frente. Mas é muito bem quando você coloca a pressão para a direita dele, depois com a sua esquerda no meio quando tem troca de bola. Se o saque é bom, se você sente que ele vai entrar de chiquita, vai meio na esquerda dele. Aí tenta respirar e deixa seu corpo solto, relaxado. Hein? Allez, você vai voltar. Allez, Hugo.
Back for game number 6, Harimoto leading 3-2. Comes out of the gates, firing right now. If this sky lob comes down, we've seen Harimoto get up on one foot and look like he's going to tomahawk smash it, drop it wide and short to the forehand side very effectively throughout this tournament. That backhand bending out to the forehand side. Calderano can be quite dangerous. Now, last game was the game he was supposed to win on the side of the table that nobody had lost on, but Harimoto disrupted that pattern. There's that backhand deep to the corner. Coach Mounier in the corner, vocally supporting, letting Calderano know that he's there. Net for net, touch play on both sides. That's just how important it is to recover a net ball and keep it low. You see a lot of these. Perfect placement from Calderano, attacking the middle, the crossover point for Harimoto. First towel break of the game, and they're split at 3 points apiece. Calderano's been very strong in the attacking game, and Harimoto also has covered the middle very well today, using the racket head straight up, keeping that forehand side of the racket up. Oh, corner to corner, coast to coast, running Harimoto around the table. And if it weren't for the fact that Harimoto had to jump out wide for such a deep backhand shot, It wouldn't have been out of position to open up that forehand corner. Oh, the edge of the table here for Calderano. Similar pattern. As far as combinations go, they can be effective, but often the player on the other side will break that pattern.
3-6.
Looks like Harimoto trying to loosen up a little bit. That was really close for a moment. I thought it might have caught the edge again, but Harimoto taking the point here. The difference between 3-7, 4-6 is a world of difference. Especially at this point in the match. Now 1 point here and it's tied up. If Harimoto gets one more point, that is. Wow. Again, Harimoto in the blocking game. It's a very aggressive block. He's playing it out wide, trying to run Hugo around, but that fitness and the speed, the racket speed from Calderano on every shot in this rally. So impressive. And even the forehand flips starting to run away with this game. This could be another 7-gamer. Both of these players have had their share so far in this tournament. Heavy spin and perfect placement wide out to the forehand. Neither of these players has lost a match yet. Harimoto has had 2 7-game victories. Calderano's had 2 as well. Perfect placement into the body. Harimoto making his way back. Calderano with an encouraging lead, but has not crossed the finish line in Game 6 yet. Really is going to have to stay focused. Look at this. I was just thinking about setting up the backhand attack. I had no idea he'd take it from that deep in the backhand corner and play it down the line. Perfect read of that Chiquita right there from Harimoto. So 4 game points, now only 3 left for Calderano. Just drying the hand, palm of the hand on the table near the net. Overlifts on that forehand to the short side, and at the 3rd towel break of the game, Harimoto has saved 2 game points, but still has 2 more to go if he wants to tie it up. Calderano looking to take either of the next 2 points. Ideally, for heart rate's sake and his fans and his coach and everything else, he'll take the first. A very strong opening shot there. The receive from Harimoto as aggressive as can be with that backhand, and it's...
Você está jogando muito bem. Não vai se fechar demais, hein? Tem que abrir para respirar.
Does sound like Portuguese. Dana was right earlier. Should make a lot of sense for Hugo.
Está jogando muito bem. Só uma coisa que é importante é não colocar velocidade demais para a esquerda dele. Pelo menos se você dá efeito, segunda bola você vai para meio ou direita, tudo bem, tudo certo. Mas quando você tem que começar primeiro drive, você tem que deixar energia suficiente para matar a bola seguinte. Tá? Só, ok, depende do que como você quer, o jeito de sacar, mas acredito que é melhor de não deixar muito curto. Porque se você não deixar muito curto, já você pode afastar um pouco e antecipar a trajetória. Depois pode ser qualquer lugar. Está jogando muito bem, né, Hugo? Então volta com muito foco. Hein? Aí para você.
So it seemed like there was a opening topspin. Stay on top of it. Counter back. With good service placement here. Calderano could predict a little bit better where the 3rd ball will be. His backhand has been very effective on the 3rd balls. Let's see, 2nd serve here. This is his 3rd game point. No, his 4th rather. And Harimoto from the middle of the table blocks just out. forehand step around from Calderano saves it. The timeout pays off 11-9 after being up 10-6. Calderano sends this to the 7th and deciding game. Hugo Calderano and Tomokazu Harimoto, deciding game coming up right after this.
全部と一緒だ。で、相手のボールクロスをしっかり回す。上から回り込みの時だけストレート。あと全部クロス。こう落としたりとか、フォアもバックもしっかり自分でラケットを振って、ブロックで振って、でチャンス。ミスしなければ絶対勝てる。さあ、頑張れ。最後。
The slow clap starts as Game 7 is about to be underway. Hugo Calderano taking game number 6 by the narrowest of margins. There's only 2 points between these two players so far in the amount of points scored total. Hugo Calderano with 54. Harimoto just getting his 53rd point. Outstanding rally to start off Game 7. Commitment here, comes all the way around, gets it early. I guess high enough and close enough to the net that he can put it away down the line. Oh man, these points are good. This is not the first time we've seen Calderano recover a ball that was way out of reach apparently from the start. Sky lob, huge counterattack right here. Very calm block from Harimoto to leave it out in front. Outstanding point again. Harimoto on fire on top of these balls. He's able to punch back so aggressively but still keep the topspin on. I feel like this is the sprint at the end of the marathon right now. Both players are coming out and just being so aggressive. They know it's the last game of the night. They'll have time to recover before tomorrow if they can make it that far. On both of these players right now, but in that instance, Harimoto on the receive. So this was not the last point, but Harimoto making an impressive receive deep to the backhand corner. With as much power as Calderano has, to really deter that attack is so difficult. They're going to switch sides of the table as Harimoto has earned 5 points here. He's 3 in the lead, but we've seen bigger comebacks the other way. When Calderano pressured the timeout, that ended up helping Harimoto, and he came back to win that game. A similar streak for Calderano. Excellent touch there. Harimoto acknowledging it, saying, yeah, good shot, good shot. Just outstanding, again, right into the body. I love watching two players who are working so hard with such strong shots and skill level. I mean, really, power placement. Oh, just missing the corner. Harimoto in that counter punch, and Calderano's right back in within 1 point. That's 3 in a row for Calderano. Make that 4, the opening flip with the forehand. Neither player with a timeout left. Not an easy receive. Again, the forehand flip, less rotation, which means you have to really understand the rotation on the ball well and focus on your placement. Calderano ties it up 4 straight points and now has 2 serves on his side. The break of the momentum, Harimoto with his first point in the last 5. Bit of a surprise, this ball comes back right to the corner. Harimoto with a deep shot and Calderano bringing it back down the line. That backhand ready to go. He's got the racket head up, just using the wrist for a little bit of backswing. First opening from Calderano and he makes it count. Soft touch, waiting for the ball to come just long enough. Realizes that one's coming back. It's gonna come off the table, he's got the opening. 2-point lead and 2 points away from moving on to the men's singles final over Tomokazu Harimoto. This would be sweet revenge for Hugo Calderano. Just missing the backhand, the edge of the racket and out. Harimoto also looking to get some revenge on T-Mobile and continue his flawless record against Hugo Calderano. What a strong backhand. Chole there. Harimoto fan could have been his father in the crowd. 9-9 in game 7. This match will be won by the matter of 2 points. Man, has the crowd gotten their money's worth today. Top of the net and out, Hugo Calderano with match point. The focus Harimoto has, it's amazing how they're able to suppress emotion and stay focused. Just missing the edge of the table, drilled into the body. Really making that count, saving a match point. Harimoto still in it, deuce in the 7th. Backhand comes back off the top of the net now. Calderano stays steady in his looping game from behind the table and earns another match point. Once again, the forehand, unbelievable speed. That was a limited time offer. The ball's dropping. Look at this one more time. Harimoto realizes so quickly he has to take advantage of this. Again with the fast feet of Calderano. Not easy to sneak that past on the wide forehand. 2 match points saved by Harimoto. Right down the line and a bit of the edge. Calderano with a big point here. Great shot and a bit of fortune to go with it to help. Wonder if that would have come back on clean top. 3rd match point for Calderano. Harimoto saving his 3rd match point. The 4th towel break of the game comes up as it does at 12-12. But not in any game. In the decider, game 7. This is the test for mental toughness. The slow clap again from the crowd. Every game must be won by a minimum of 2 points. But today it's only going to be 2. Top of the net now once again. So many quality shots from Calderano to keep Harimoto from getting the initial attack. Both players have been using their serves very well to make sure that they start the point on the right foot, get in with the opening attack. Harimoto facing another match point. He's saved 3 so far. Ooh, the punch again. This is a surprising way. This is not the way that Harimoto has won the last several points that he's won. He immediately got put into the defensive position, playing the block, but gives a bit more of a punch back on that last one to keep the pace on. So 4 match points saved by Harimoto under pressure here. I guess match points are always under pressure, but especially at this stage of the tournament. Ooh, 2? That was unbelievable. This has to come down on the table. Let's watch one more time. First one, he recovers. Second one, net. From this camera angle, that's really tough to tell. Point goes to Calderano. And he saves another one. I really want to see a replay of that point from another angle because, again, if that ball hits the net clamp, it does not count. Chances are good that it did hit the top of the table. The umpires have been very solid. But again, it was so close to the net clamp. I mean, this has been a chase time and time again. 5 match points saved by Harimoto. The opening backhand, he has a match point of his own. So the pressure now, we've seen that Harimoto, tested 5 times under pressure, has had nerves of steel, ice in the veins. Calderano's turn to be in the hot water. Match point for Harimoto. And he does it. What a comeback. 16-14 in Game 7. Simply incredible and a very tough loss for Hugo Calderano and an incredible win under pressure from Tomokazu Harimoto. What a thrilling match to throw from Brazil, having an outstanding tournament. He got revenge on Kenta Matsudaira, but still has an open box with a check mark that needs to be put inside the Tomokazu Harimoto checklist of people to get revenge on. Celebration. And we look forward to having you back tomorrow for 4 finals. It's the women's doubles Czech Open. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.